We are going to begin the process with a 16 kilowatt battery pack. These individual cells, as we can clearly observe right here, will be carefully loaded into the machine. From this point, they will proceed directly onto the automated press line. As we watch the robot in action, it moves them precisely onto the press line using this specialized device. Looking at the monitor, we can see that it displays a variety of critical information, including the specific voltage levels, the unique serial number for tracking, and the detailed internal resistance measurements for each of the cells. After that, the pressing happens here, as I mentioned, and our production line begins. Here, the stages of assembling the package start. As we can see, the insulators present. The cells start to be arranged little by little. Then the insulators will be placed between them, starting to distribute the insulators. As we can clearly see, these spaces are positioned between the cells. They are very important because they prevent direct contact and prevent dangerous short circuits. Of course, the resin factories use high-quality materials. They do not use ordinary materials, so according to the strict specifications, we must have them here. There are just 8 cells in this section. Cell number 7 has now been connected, and this is the next cell in the sequence. Usually for the first cell, they only put epoxy, but this black epoxy is very important for them. Not yellow like the other one. Yes, the cells are all arranged, and after that, we'll move on to the next stage of the process. Next, the material will proceed to the critical pressing stage. This specialized black material they are utilizing is a unique substance derived from organic cells that is now prepared to enter the intensive pressing phase. This represents the most vital part of the entire manufacturing process. The mechanical device will be carefully positioned and will then transition into the pressing stage. Once it has been properly aligned, you will observe the heavy device descending to apply significant pressure directly onto the cells. Now we shall observe the results. Thank you for your patience, as we can clearly see that the immense pressing force is being steadily applied to the material right now. The device is pressing down right now, and here is the current pressure reading. As we can clearly see, its value is exactly 309 kilograms force. Okay, now it has dropped down to 300. Alright, this is the specific pressure for the cell, which is of course kept strictly within the technical specifications as we mentioned, just as we explained earlier. We must carefully press the cells, and after the pressing is completely done, as we saw here, it will soon enter this specialized device. This device thoroughly checks the polarity of the cells, making sure that none of the individual cells are reversed. After they check, as we can see now, it has entered the group. It will make sure everything is correct, just in case you accidentally reverse the polarity during the assembly process. Now the device will start checking, right? As you can see, this is the cleaning stage. Now the group will come to us. This stage does not correspond to the cells in the lab. Let's call it the tray for the bridge area. We'll call it that since it's all electricity. Electric discharge. Here, let's spread them out. It'll start for the first time. This is like a hose. It blows air. It cleans. And after that, the laser will start. It performs the cleaning, as you can see. It will start. As you can see, right here it hits. This stage is one of the most crucial and important stages in differentiation. There is a significant, measurable electrical voltage difference between the cells. If they don't do this stage, there will remain a voltage difference between the cells, and this is what distinguishes fungi. And all of this costs money. All these devices and equipment, this is still the same stage. Now the clamp is starting. Of course, before this stage, as we can see, it starts to secure it, like the package, and it cleans the top of it, as we saw a little earlier. It starts to place this on top of it so that it is secured. The batteries are fixed in their place, it makes sure of them, and then it pushes the package. It will go inside this device. Of course, this door is almost always closed, but now they've opened it, okay. Of course, for them, safety is very important, honestly. So the package enters and the laser welding is done, just like we saw a little earlier. And this is the stage where the cell enters. At this point, the internal resistance of the cells is checked and the welding is also inspected. This is crucial. Ensure this. So any discrepancy means a problem with either the welding or the cell itself, yourself. And then the cell goes back onto the production line. This fan is here. And this is the place here. And this is the cooling chamber. Of course, this is 16 kilowatts. And right here, we can monitor the voltage levels. Once the system is prepared and ready to go, it will start charging. It will lower the package, and as we can see, it will place the package into its designated position. Once this part is finished, it will move on to the next stage of the process. As we can clearly see here, the technicians are starting the process of securing it firmly in place. And now we are right here securing this specific section. Looking closely at the assembly, this component right here is the fan, and this other part is the BMU unit. Alright, they seem to be doing a great job securing them both properly, and immediately after that is completed, it will move on to the next stage of the operation. This cable that you see is secured with a clamp to the discharge terminal. All of them are secured to the discharge terminal. Here, as we can see, he will also measure out the voltage of the individual cells, and we will check them. As we can see right here, this is the fan and this is the bus bar that we are looking at. In this area, the wires will be fixed into their positions and then the system will measure them, while the voltages that are being fixed will also be measured, and then finally, they will all be secured. And this is the same production line. They use it for high voltage and for low voltage, depending on the production and the batch, because it's all 16 kilowatts. Here they have this stage. This is the cables and the housing. He told me that here, they do testing for the high voltage. They check even the voltage differentiation in case there are any issues. As we can see, the cells are monitored, the communication is checked, and if there are any problems, they check the BMS. Everything is checked here. They have this computer, or even the test results, as you can see, all of this. So these are the test results. All of them come out here, okay? Here is the aging test room. Now we've entered the aging test room, and as we can see, the battery is here. It's doing a discharge. Of course, it's 50 amps, okay? This is the high voltage that's currently present. And here we have the low voltage test for the low voltage. As I told you before, this is a collaborative and joint production plan. Thank you. This device right here is the PDU. Yes, the PDU unit. This is the very first significant difference. This is the major upgrade, and we can also clearly see the upgrade and the next upgrade. Yes, this is the main upgrade, antennae. Alright, this is the current temperature as we can see right now, and this is the noticeable difference we have. What exactly is this first difference? Yes, the first difference, a much higher difference, and a significantly lower difference, a lower difference. A lower difference, and the details are working well. We have an update for the alarm because we currently have a short update. This is the update, and we can also see all the analyzer updates. Yes, this update shows all the updates available for the cells. Alright, software update 5 and update 9 are significantly more. Yes, even more. He will say yes, very good. Alright, let's take a photo. This will show the update for the existing cells. And this is the first schedule for this video, of course, inside the aging update room. I noticed, what is this? So he said, this is here. We take a sample from the cells, we randomly select a sample from the cells we have, which are already used in manufacturing, and we check the SOC and we do charge and discharge for them. Charging and discharging tests are done so we can see the condition of the cells and whether the battery is deteriorating or not. That is, they randomly take a group of cells and check them. And he honestly said if we check, we can see the difference in fault differentiation and the quality difference between the cells and so on. But these are additional tests for us, just to make sure to confirm even the quality of the cells. This is the aging test stage for low voltage. These are 16 cells, 16 kilowatts. It's not just a charging and discharging test. Inside, they even have a communication cable. As we can see, all this information transfers data during the charging and discharging process because we connect it to the computer and it reads it during charging. Of course, the screen shows us the percentage and temperature, but the batteries are supported by Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. And they have their own special fuses. This is the breaker here. Even the circuit breaker is fully automatic. 125 volts, 125 amps. And 125 volts direct current. This is one of the primary procedures they utilize to confirm the battery's overall lack of quality, operating at a level of 16 kilowatts. These are the specialized tools they employed for rigorous testing during the agent test phase. As you can imagine, it becomes extremely hot within the facility because it is a massive bundle of heavy-duty cables. Furthermore, all of these intricate wires are specifically used for the continuous process of charging and discharging the unit. Of course, we went into the room, saw his tools, and observed the testing, charging, and discharging. All results are displayed here on this screen, so he can just sit and monitor it, making it easy to keep an eye on things. And the status of the battery. This is the box, as we can see. So this is a fan here, and this is the spot here, and of course this is 16 kilowatts. This, of course, is drawing power as it charges. As the large box slowly lowers down toward the ground, we can clearly see that the package inside comes down along with it at the exact same time. And then it proceeds forward to the next stage, as we can clearly observe right here, because it seems they are firmly securing it in place. And here we are going to secure this, as we can see, this specific movable ventilation fan. This is the movable fan, right? You want to make sure that you secure it properly. And once that part is finished, it will then move on to the single phase stage of the process. This specific cable that you see right here is being carefully secured by hand directly to the discharge terminal. In fact, you can see that everything is currently secured to the discharge terminal. Here, as we can clearly see in this view, the system will also measure the three-phase voltage. We will be able to see those results shortly. As we can clearly see right here, this is the fan. And this is the bus bar that we see. All of these wires will be secured, and after that is done, it will measure everything. As the voltage will also be measured. This versatile production line is engineered to handle both high voltage and low voltage applications, depending on the production needs and the specific batch being processed, as the whole system operates at 16 kilowatts. Right here, this is the stage. Look at all these cables and the constant commotion. He explained that here we do testing for the voltage. We check the electrical voltage in case there are any issues with it, just like the process we see with the individual cells. The communication is systematically numbered. If there's a problem, we check the BMS. Every single component is thoroughly checked right here. They have this computer and even the test results, as you can see, all the test results come out here, okay? Here is the room, the specialized aging test room, as they call it. Currently, as we can see, the battery is using a current of 50 amps. This is the powered movement in action. And here we see another example of the powered movement. As I previously mentioned to you, this facility operates as a highly efficient shared production line. At this specific moment, the equipment you see is the PDU. This is the powered movement 544. And we can also clearly observe the intricate details of the movement and the overall flow of the movement across the floor. Yes, this is the movement. Currently, this is the temperature as we see it. And this is the separation we have. What is this? Molten? Yes, molten, molten, yes, molten. Is it even more than that? Yes, it is much more than that. Is it even more than that? Yes, it is truly more than that. Is it even more than that? Yes, it is really more than that. Yes, is it even more than that? Yes, is it even more than that? Yes, is it even more than that? Yes, from there, is it even more than that? Yes, it is much more than that. Yes, it is clearly more than that. Yes, it is surely more than that. Yes, it is certainly more than that. Yes, starting from that, is it even more than that? Yes, it is vastly more than that. Yes, it is truly more than that. Yes, it is surely more than that. Good, okay, so now I will look at the plots for the existing cells, and this is scheduled below the video. This, of course, is inside the verification room. I asked him, what is this? So he told him, here we take a sample from the cells. We randomly take a sample from the cells we have, the ones we have given up on using in manufacturing, and we charge the SOS. We explain and perform a charge and discharge test to see the condition of the cells and their status. Whether the battery collapses or not, meaning they randomly take from a group of cells. And he said, frankly, like we make sure of the quality of the cells, the discharge difference and the cells and so on. But this is an additional test we do to confirm the number of cells. This is the update stage for the aging process. As for the lower part, this is the remaining 16 kilowatts. Not just a charge and discharge test inside, they even have a social communication cable. As we can see, this is all the information that transfers the data during the charging and discharging process, because we transfer it to a computer where they read and monitor it during charging. Of course, the screen displays the temperature percentage, but the batteries are supported. Supported by Wi-Fi, supported by Bluetooth, and they have their own special examples. This is the circuit breaker that is present. Okay, this is even the breaker. The automatic breaker is 125 volts, as we can see. 125 ampere, 125 volts DC, okay? This is one of the procedures they use to verify the quality of the batteries. 7 kilos. These are the tools they use for testing. With the engine test. Of course, the room is very hot because, as we can see, it's basically, there is a large bundle of cables and wires. Every single one of these is used for charging and discharging. Of course, we went into the room, observed the specialized tools they use for testing, charging, and discharging, and reviewed all the final results. Here, you can easily access people, monitor them, and observe their battery status.